What's up guys, Casey from Metal Darts, and today I'm bringing you another darts review. I'm going to be doing more of these just because I've changed the format and I feel like they offer something different to the review sort of community. And so I'm going to start doing a few more coming up, so hopefully you enjoy them. And today, as you've probably seen by the title, we are reviewing the Searle darts. These are actually the 26g version, which I don't think have been reviewed too much on YouTube, which is why I'm going to do the 26g version. It's also the version that I have. I was kindly given these by Loxley when we went to the Premier League, and obviously I've made a promo video for them as well, which you've seen at the start of this video, which hopefully you enjoyed. So I'm not going to go too much into all the details of the packaging and stuff because you've probably seen it obviously in the video, and also you kind of know, you've seen reviews and stuff of Searle darts before. So I'm not going to go into details of the packaging, but these darts are available in 26, 29 and 32 grams, and the 26g versions are actually 7mm wide by 51mm long, so it's not a completely unnatural sort of dimensions for a straight barrel dart. The Steve Hine darts, which are 23 grams, they're 6.7mm wide by about 50mm long, so again, it's not overly far away from what those darts are as well. These darts retail on Darts Corner for £50 or $49.95. They are available on other retailers worldwide. If you want to find out where Loxley stock their darts, head over to loxleydarts.com and visit their shops page, and it will tell you all the sites worldwide where you can pick up Loxley darts. So make sure you go and check that out if you're outside of the UK. So getting into the dart itself, what we're going to do on screen is show you some close-ups and some really nice sort of macro level shots of the dart itself. So these darts come with the Searle Loxley flights and some black short stems. Obviously the setup that Ryan uses when he's actually playing is an L-style setup. Now I don't actually have the specific L-style setup, but what I'll do when I review these darts is I'll throw some with the supplied setup, and then I will throw some with an L-style setup, just so you can kind of get an idea of differences when they fly, although I don't think it'll be too drastic. Getting into the barrel itself, you have a smooth section on the back. So first of all, if you're like a rear gripper, anywhere in sort of the back third or maybe even back half of the dart, I probably wouldn't recommend these darts to you just because the section is pretty much almost completely smooth. But that smooth section does contain a Loxley logo and also the heavy metal logo, which actually looks really nice. If you sort of see a close-up, which I'll put on screen, the heavy metal logo is actually really well made and really intricately put on, which is a really nice touch. This is then followed up by some black and red Searle coloured rings. Obviously his colour scheme is black and red, which is what Zach Thornton, who designed these darts, felt was sort of like a good colour scheme for a heavy metal sort of nickname dart. So yeah, some really nice black and red rings there. Again, they don't offer too much grip, but if you are sort of a middle gripper or just ever so slightly back of rear and you don't like too much grip, they could work for you. But again, there are probably better darts out there for this type of barrel. Finally, moving into the front section, we have this really nice sort of like lateral cut ring grip. Now, the ring grip is actually alternating, so you have two rings and then a wide space and then another two rings. They are cut laterally as well. I believe there's 8 cuts in the barrel. When I first picked these darts up, they felt really rough and almost sort of like sandpapery. They were sort of a bit sort of grippy, but now I've used them a bit, they actually feel a little bit smoother, so they don't feel sort of too out of place in my hand, which is actually really, really nice. I really like the feel of this grip. But overall, looks like a really solid dart. What we're going to do now is take these darts over to the board whilst I explain what's going on the screen and how I felt like these darts performed. Now, one thing I will say when I was throwing these darts is you could really tell that they were staying straight, but they were moving all over the place and fishtailing because of the setup. Now, one thing with heavier darts is they have more forgiveness in terms of where the darts go. You sort of don't have to be as accurate, which sounds really strange, but with heavier darts, they give you sort of more margin for error, I would say. It's hard to explain, but if your technique isn't perfect, your heavier darts will kind of balance themselves out a bit more, I guess, and won't sort of go all over the place. That's probably the best way I can explain it. And the darts will stand up really nicely, which is obviously what you would expect from sort of a wider sort of barrel along with a short stem setup. But after using them for about, I'd probably say 45 minutes or so, playing some games and stuff, I realised that I should maybe switch to a longer setup. Now, just for this video, I thought I'll just stick on some longer stems and flights and standard flights. So I just took them off the Steve Hine setup that I had because they have medium stems and standard flights. And I actually threw a ton and a 180 in the space of about a minute. So the longer setup for me definitely worked. I'd recommend, if you're getting these darts, perhaps looking at buying some longer stems if you don't have some already, because I think they do really help balance the dart out. The only problem with this is the darts do sit kind of flat, so you're sort of losing a bit of height on your darts if you like that, if you're using the longer stem setup. Moving on to the L-style setup. The L-style setup was pretty much the same as the normal standard setup with the short stems and the L-style flights. I didn't really realise any difference between the two. One thing I will say is the L-style setup offers a bit more sort of resistance against the heavier darts, but they do chew up quite easily. For me personally, I would probably just stick with a standard cheap flight and then just keep replacing them over time, just because they're probably cheaper overall to buy than the Ryan Searle actual sort of L-style flights, or just generic L-style or molded flights as well. But for me personally, I didn't see any sort of difference in the performance, so that's the reason why I would choose a regular sort of setup compared to an L-style one, just because it's cheaper and the flights can be replaced a bit quicker and a bit easier, and they are more affordable. The grip was really consistent. I really liked it. As I said before, the grip is just consistent all the way down the front half of the barrel, so when you pick up that dart, although you don't have a reference point and you're not going to grip it in the same place every time, you get a sort of familiar feel every time you pick up the dart, which is really useful, because every time you pick up the dart, you don't want to have something feel different and think, oh, that feels off before you're throwing. You just want to be fully concentrated to pick up the dart and throw, pick up the dart and throw, pick up the dart and throw. You don't want anything putting you off, which is really nice to get from this barrel with the level of consistency throughout the grip. It's not grippy, but it gives you enough. It's a really subjective kind of thing, I think. These could range from anywhere from a 2.5 up to a maybe 3.5 or even a 4, depending on the type of barrel that you use. But for me personally, and compared to other darts that I've used, you can definitely get a lot grippier than this, and also get a bit in between as well. So for me, only a 2.5 out of 5, maybe a 3 on certain days, depending on how you feel. Would I recommend getting these darts? If you're a thrower of a heavier dart, I would definitely recommend trying them out. If you're a front gripper, obviously, because you can't really grip these darts at the back because it's just sort of a smooth section. Unless you like that and you want to support Ryan Searle and Loxley, I probably wouldn't recommend these barrels if you're a rear gripper. They're also something a bit different, just sort of generally sort of browsing through the Darts Corner website. If you're looking for something that's 26 grams, generally they're sort of a pretty basic kind of barrel. Either that or they're really expensive, because you're looking at sort of like Raymond van Barneveld darts, which sort of come in 26 grams, which are sort of similar dimensions to these. But if you're looking for a heavier dart that's maybe a little bit narrower than a standard sort of heavy dart, I'd definitely recommend trying to pick up these darts. And yeah, overall a really nice dart. You can see why Ryan Searle likes using them. As I said before, personally I would change out the short stem for maybe something a little bit longer, just to get that bit of stability, and the proof was kind of in the pudding, as you saw when I hit a ton and a 180 within the space of about a minute. So yeah, I'd definitely recommend changing the stems if you were to buy this dart, if you don't get on with them in the first place. And yeah guys, that's pretty much it from me. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. Hopefully it's brought you some light into the 26 gram version of the Ryan Searle darts. Obviously I'm not a full-time sort of like in-depth reviewer. I'm not going to go into the absolute minimal details. And yeah guys, that's it for this video. Let me know if you've used this dart in the comments down below, either the 26, 29 or 32 gram version. Let me know what you think of them. Obviously leave a like on the video if you did enjoy it. It lets me know that you want to see more videos like this, and it also helps the YouTube algorithm recommend my videos to people who haven't yet seen them. And obviously if you're new around here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and obviously turn on the notification bell to be notified when I upload. And yeah guys, that's it for now. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.